All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we are going to be looking at the AI sector. I'm going to start with SoundHound, as you can see here. I'll be looking at AI, Palantir, and if I have some time, my plan is to also look at NVDA, all right? Across every single one, I'm going to be flashing the NASDAQ, okay? And listen, I've said it a bunch of times. There is no single tech stock that's better than the NASDAQ. All right. When the NASDAQ's doing well, we bring ourselves 18 wheelers and we back it up and we just fill it with tech stocks. All right. NASDAQ, just in case you don't watch this whole thing, let's look at the comp NASDAQ composite right there. NASDAQ's under the 50. All right, that was scaring me right here. I was getting excited that we were getting back, but clearly it was a little bit momentary instead of sustained like we like here, right? So again, remember, there is, in my opinion, no single stock that's better than that. So that's actually the worry right now. All right, but we'll go further and I'll give you more of my thoughts and opinions. But before we go any further, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much. If you can actually share the video, it does me the best because I'm not really that good at that. But look, just being here, giving me your time is super appreciated. All right, and I always say it, if you're not in it already, come check out the Discord family. It's super. There's not a lot of like little happy places on the internet. I think we're building one on YouTube and as well as on this Discord right there. All right, so SoundHound, listen. I've been echoing the same comment for a while, all right? I just kept saying, I don't think I would touch this thing over this $3 line, all right? More than anything, I kept saying, look, it needs to get over these 2 lines, okay? And as much as it looked like it would, it actually never even got close. All right. Yeah, that line kind of kept coming down as these were moving down together. But man, this 100 actually stayed as parallel can get, right? Like this thing just really never moved. The 50 was working its way down, but again, it didn't come down quick enough. And end of the day, I'm telling you, like, these are computer generated lines that I have no way to do anything with. And you see me replying to the comments. I genuinely believe the AI sector is amazing. I genuinely believe in the power of, in the future of, like I believe in AI, all right? And I like from the big stocks to the little ones, like our lives are going to change very soon, right? The thing is, very soon can actually mean 15 years, can actually mean like 25 years when you take a step back and look at the next like 400 years that are going to follow it, right? That little 25-year window that seems like a lot for us is just a little blip in the dot of like the future well after us, right? So just remember. And to me, look, I know it's a really silly comparison, but this reminds me of the weed legalization thoughts I had back in like 2015, 2016 when I was first like dabbling in the market. You know what I mean? Like I believed weed would get federally legalized and this and that, and clearly nothing's happened. I genuinely believe that AI will not be as fast as we think because there's a lot of hurdles. There's a lot of unions that hold a lot of power. There's a lot of, and this little moment right here is a lot more just like non-technical stuff that people start to like look for. So I do apologize and like let me kind of get back to it, but yeah, let me just say one more time, don't anticipate the speed that you would think. You know what I mean? Like that's all I kind of want to like warn about. All right. Technically speaking, hold on. I just realized, let me close something real quick. I'm going to pause this and come back. One sec. Sorry. Okay, good. I'm back. Perfect. So look, just getting into the charts. One thing I did, I don't know if you saw it while I was talking. So I was accidentally looking at post market. I always do regular, right? So like let's do what we always do and look at regular hours, all right? And again, just these lines, man, if you can get over them, I was saying going from 3 to whatever, that's a beautiful 20% right there. And I never wanted to deal with this little, I don't want to say little, because it is actually a decent movement from 250 to 3, right? There's only so many 50-cent pieces in this, right? But end of the day, I say there is no such thing as safe trading. However, there are better channels to be in, you know what I mean? So I liked between these two lines well more than anything down here, right? So and then look, where are we now? We are under all five. Sorry to zoom in so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are under all five, right? So what I don't like is we saw a doji the day before actually on the last line. So this was kind of the make or break moment, right? Like, what's the doji gonna do? If you've watched my last couple videos, I've been stressing that more, and I feel like I'm gonna make a breakout video on that soon. But the day after the doji, especially when it's on an important place, such as the last moving average, yeah, I'm very worried $2 is coming, all right? And again, if you didn't see it in the beginning, let's take a look at NASDAQ, all right? Sorry, CompQ, NASDAQ index, okay? I was very worried right here when we lost the 50, came very near the 100 and at least like bounced nicely, right? Definitely did not sustain as much as we wanted, definitely couldn't go back up to where we were, and now very quickly we've lost those two and we're kind of staring at the window of losing the third one, right? So this 13.7 is a very important line, all right? We must bounce up and get back over basically to 14. Like a high 13.95 is basically what we need at the minimum, right? But yeah, if we can't get back over these lines, we're going right back under. And look, I know this isn't a funny, simple comparison, right? But there are moments when it looks like you should and you just don't, all right? And I know that that's just some little silly hype stock, right, that we're not even talking about on this one, but the lines don't care. And I don't think it's going to be easy to get. Like, it took days and days before we were able to get over it, all right? We basically have the next 2 days to do something, or like we're heading down here, you know what I mean? So just watch the NASDAQ. And if NASDAQ slips, if NASDAQ can't get back over those numbers that I was saying, that like 13.95, basically 14, oh man, it's going to be a quick ride to 2, all right? And then the worst thing is there's not a lot stopping between here, because look, you know I say red, green, green, red, green, green, like there's a whole mess of nothing but fast movements up and down. That's going to be a fast ride down. It is. All right, we were lucky that when we dropped, we didn't confirm the day after. If we drop it and confirm, that's a nasty one to lose. All right, so there's more to be afraid of. Look, we are actually in a negative MACD. All right, it looked like it was trying to recover. It's definitely flattening out and kind of going to go back. I'm seeing an RSI ready to go. I'm seeing horrible volume. I'm seeing the volume go from up here, right? The 50 average was at 19 million. Where are we at right now? We're at 17 million, all right? That, roughly speaking, is a 10% drop in volume. That's not good, all right? Volume's king, and when 10% of the people care less, that's not good, all right? Soundhound, I'm not here to pretend I don't believe in the technology. I'm not here to pretend I don't believe in the sector. I'm not here to pretend I've never said AI is king. I say it often, and I believe it right now. The thing is, I believe in these 5 moving averages just a little bit more. And when you're under, break all 5 and fly, lose all 5 and die, all right? So just be careful. I think there's more calling, honestly, there's more saying I'm going to come down to like 175 than there is saying I'm going to go up to 3, if I had to guess. You're right? Like, end of the day, you know, I'm just giving you my thoughts and opinions, right? But 175 actually seems a lot more realistic than 3, which is very sad. Let's look at the weekly. I don't think I looked at the weekly here just yet. Sorry about that. Man, it's actually the exact same thing. We are under all the moving averages. Right now, there are only 3 moving averages on the weekly. As I click right here, you can see in the box over there, there's only the 8, the 20, and the 50. As I zoom out, that's because, look, this is a very new... Man, I have a lot of lines here. I probably should delete some lines. Let's delete some lines. Let's delete some lines. Let's redo this together. Why not? We'll do this as a family as I go back. Damn, you didn't even delete them all. Come on now, baby. delete. Let's try it one more time. Delete. There we go. All right, I'll redo this. But look, this is a new stock. This has not even been trading for 100 weeks. This 50 line isn't even that long. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this, and again, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the 8th week, we got the 8th dot for the 8 moving average, right? So we're nowhere near the 100th week just yet. So we're under all moving averages, and it only happens to be 3, but under all 3 and fly under all 3. Blah, blah, blah. Over all 3 and fly, under all 3 and die. That was the moral right there, all right? So let's go to the weekly. Let's make some lines, and man, really, like, these are the lines right here. But let's see what I would take. What's the top of you? Let's just draw that. Oh, I like that. You're also 50% of that guy. Cool, 316. This is definitely the scary one to lose. That's for sure. For me, it's not this candle. This is the bigger candle. If 203, I don't remember what the other line was, by the way, right? You can kind of go back and see what it was. But yeah, if this one's lost, this isn't going to do much. It's a pretty insignificant candle, especially compared to this. Generally, I would draw a 50% candle line. So that's right there. That's 221. I think this 20 moving average is probably going to be more important than any line I'm going to draw right there, right? But is your bottom roughly 50%? It's not that far. It's not that far. I think it is a pretty solid line. I'm not going to draw it, though, actually. And then, again, yeah, I'm probably going to draw it off of that one, right? I think it's that one. I think it's that one. And then, what is your 50%? It's basically that. Give or take, it's that. 130. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like this, actually. Let me just... What are you at right here? I think I'm going to draw that instead. I'll take the bottom, basically, of all those. It's not quite 50%, but I think if I'm going to keep this one here, let's at least give this a little bit. I'll take that. Okay, I like that right there. I think this is a little bit healthier of a line. Look, I'll draw it again, like, just in case things go up, right? Like, what's the goal for up? So, where are you? Do I go higher than that? I think that's the safer line, all right? The other one I could have drawn, I think, might have been that right there, 441. I think that's, I mean, obviously the easy line, right? The top and the top. But, yeah, I think 450 is a decent line right here. I don't mind this $4 one, actually. I think that's actually the better line right there. Okay, cool. These are just my thoughts and opinions on SoundHound. Let me know what you think. Damn, I was a little bit longer on that than I expected. Okay, let's talk about AI here. It's funny because I get a lot of my, like, fundamental information from the, like, YouTube comments, in all honesty, all right? I remember when all the other AI stocks were doing their earnings early August, okay? I know SoundHound did one early August, and NVDA obviously did one early August. I think Palantir might have even, I'm not even sure on that one, but someone had mentioned in the comments AI was doing the earnings around the 30th of August. So that's actually the date I had in my head. It was in the Discord. I forgot who it was right here, but they definitely reminded, not, you would think I would do better things and, like, prep stuff, whatever. Yeah, it clearly was right here, all right? And clearly earnings were not liked. I don't know if the earnings were actually a week late. I don't know how accurate that date in the 30 was, right? Again, like I said, I really get a lot of my info from the team in the comments, right? But there is something I sincerely believe, all right? It's twofold on earnings. Number one, I do not like holding money going into earnings. I especially don't like it in a not great market, all right? That's an easy thing to stress. But, like, earnings is a gamble. Earnings, you never know if you're going to drop down or drop up. And for me, it's less about catching the drop up or drop down and just following or avoiding the continuation. All right. I hope that made sense. Throw it in the comments if it didn't. All right. But there is a lot of reason to believe that this earnings drop down is just the start of it. Okay. Where did it take us? It took us all the way to the 200. Hey, Thank you for holding us 200. Don't get me wrong. I always say that this is a very powerful line, both in terms of breaking it up, and you can see it here, in terms of stopping what was a bad earnings, right? It like literally gave up that cluster and fell, all right? So 200 did its job. That said, do we really think it's going to use this to take it back up and then go back here and go on? Oh man, that's a little bit hard of a pill to swallow as I look at the NASDAQ. All right, again, if you saw this already on SoundHound, I apologize, but NASDAQ fell under the 50. I was worried. NASDAQ falls under the 50. I'm worried. Look, we're sitting on the 20. All right, this line is basically right on it, okay? There's a lot of pressure on this. If this slips, we're going to come down just like we did here. And in my opinion, that's going to help drive losing this line. And green is a quick, man, it didn't even, like, it's literally just this. It's between these two. There's definitely some horizontals right here. I think there's a decent line that's worth drawing right there. Roughly speaking, it's 23 bucks. I'll do 50% of you. What are you at? 23.50. You're a little high on the other candles though. No, we're gonna lower it. It's not. I'm gonna take this. I like that a little bit more. Okay. I can man, I don't even think though that this one will hold. I think it could be a real fast drop from 25 to 20. That's actually a little bit more than a 20% move, right? Because roughly speaking, every $2 we're talking about. Be careful here, all right? We're definitely at a negative RSI. Again, same comments I said with Sound. It wasn't that long ago, the average volume was 32 million. Volume's starting to get so pathetic that our average has fallen by almost 50%, down from some 30 number to basically 15, right? 17 if you're looking over there. There is a lot less interest. I for sure see these little green candles, and normally, you know, I get a little happy when there's like green in the dropping 50% interest far outweighs any little green speckles, you know what I mean? So losing moving averages far outweighs any little green speckles. It's really hard to believe here. All right, let's go to the weekly. I think there's a lot of reason to believe. Wow, it's funny. I just said I didn't think that 22 line that we just drew was going to hold, right? Clearly, it's actually a really good line because it's basically where these two are going to intersect, right? So this 23 is more of a money line than I expected, and really it's more of a death line than any. Like if we lose 23. If I'm going to say it one more time, because I'm going to click right here and let's look at the numbers over there. The average 50 is at 23.24, all right? And then the average 100 is at 20. Those are basically high 23 and we'll call it mid 23 just to be nice. If we slip below 23, sorry, I didn't mean to click that like that. It's going to be a real fast write down. What I thought, you know, I thought the 20 was going to be able to hold thing. 20 is going to hold nothing. This $20 line is going to hold nothing, and it actually might be a real quick climb down. Where are you? Yeah, you're right there. Truth be told, I'm doing this. This is what I actually think is the truth. And again, that really was driven on the fact that we got two moving averages meeting right there on that line. All right. I'm shocked that there's even a potential to... I loaded up. Like, you know, I don't tell you guys what I do with my money. You girls, what I do with my money, right? Because, like, I am a little crackhead, and, like I enjoy gambling more than I make right decisions. It's kind of a silly little thing to say. I loaded up at 17, getting ready to go because I believed it, and you can see what it did, and yeah, it was beautiful, all right? It's crazy to me that I have a line down here again, and they're like, there's a genuine possibility. I don't think 23 is going to lose, all right? I think if 23 loses, oh man, it's going to be an interesting thing, because the same confidence I had at, oh yeah, if we hit 17, I'm loading up and we're going, I don't know if I have that same confidence right here. So we'll talk about that if we get there, but yeah, there's a lot more to be worried about than to be excited on AI. Again, we just saw SoundHound's not looking good. We've seen NASDAQ's not looking good. We're going to move into Palantir right now, and Oh man, Palantir is doing its best. Okay, if you watched a couple videos ago, you'll actually know that I'm kind of doing this video backwards. All right, I made a video that basically did what I called the the AI hierarchy. It was Nasdaq on top, it was NVDA next, it was Palantir after, it was AI followed, and then it was SoundHound. I'm kind of doing this backwards right now, and really, it's honestly unintentional, but I'm like it's silly and comical in my head as I'm like saying the words, right? I probably should have done this the other way around to like keep that hierarchy in mind, but you should start to see the extremes that are happening, right? Like Palantir is doing its best to stay in the lines, all right? AI was actually mimicking it pretty well, but definitely just slipped. And then SoundHound, oops, too many fat fingers, sorry. SoundHound is actually under all five, right? So you can see the hierarchy is actually holding itself true so far, right? And look, Palantir's doing its best. Like I often say that like I hate horizontal trading, right? Like if a stock is just going horizontal, hey, at that point, let me just put my money in the bank and not like worry about it falling, right? Horizontal is actually not bad right now, given what we've been saying and what we're seeing on NASDAQ, right? Like NASDAQ's doing this crazy little oscillation on the 50 that's like starting to shake things up, all right? And you can't see it because it's on this, but the 20 is basically exactly on this line. Like if this line drops, I don't know how confident I am. And look, the one beautiful thing to say here is we haven't even touched this 100 yet. We got close, we got close. We haven't, like, this is a fresh, strong line. Again, let's look at the hierarchy again, right? Looking at AI, we never touched it, never touched it, never touched it, needed to. And it's holding on strong. And it would have held well if earnings wasn't bad, right? Let's look at SoundHound. Again, made a good run, then lost this, never was even able to use it, right? So again, the hierarchy is still holding. This thing has never even needed the 100, all right? That said, the lines are only so good until they break, right? Like just as happy as I am when I say break this, go to this, break, like if we lose this one, it's gonna come down here, all right? And like we're gonna watch it if it does. Right now, one more time to say good, strong, fresh line. Hopefully we'd never lose the 100. I think it's really hard for me to say we never lose the 100, especially again, you hear my thoughts about the NASDAQ, right? Like I'm assuming we're gonna come here. I am. I'm proud of Palantir to actually like be mimicking the Nasdaq and staying on the 50 as much as it is. Like that's not an easy thing to do. Individual stocks fall faster and quicker, but yeah, Palantir is actually showing some good strength here. But again, there's more reason to not be hopeful here. Okay, so yeah, again, look, we got just an interesting doji. People don't know what we're going to do. Are we going to go back over the 8 and keep on flying? Are we going to actually hold the 20 and go back up? I don't. I think we're coming down. I do. This should be very hard to lose. I think it's going to be really, really, really hard to go below 12. All right, just to at least give some sort of thoughts on like what I can see and look, I think this also says that this is a little bit lower. And what's your 50%? 11. Damn, what's you right here? 1188. Oh man, yeah, 1188's got a hold. I think that's the last thing I'll say on Palantir. Damn, this is almost 25. All right, let's just look at NVIDIA, but honestly, I think I covered what I wanted. Wow, NVIDIA looks a lot more similar to Palantir than I expected. Again, I think the theme is lose the 50, go to the 100. I don't want to make this too much longer. Yeah, I don't have too many things to say. Honestly, I think a lot of it's echoed on the other one. So this was a chill video. Hey, if you really want me to talk more about NVIDIA, throw it in the comments and I'll figure something out. You know I will. But as always, hey, thank you.